If you've ever been to LA, you know it's nearly impossible to avoid the city's notorious freeway traffic. It's 24/7. With hundreds of thousands of drivers on the road each day, accidents are bound to happen. And as you're about to see, lives as well as metal can get tangled in a collision. The Drake family knew Interstate 10 well. Joe drove it every day to get to his job at an auto body shop. Patricia took the freeway to see her grandkids. On September 29, 2006, they were on their way home from a friend's place.
We had my nephews and my son in the back of the vehicle. We were in a pickup truck.
We were on the 10 East freeway on the slow lane, driving around 60, 65 miles an hour. Around midnight.
Meanwhile, Jesus de la Heron had just made some cash from a real estate deal. Cops say he was on the 10 on a drunken joyride in his new Corvette. He'd just gotten off probation 2 weeks earlier for a DUI offense, but had not learned his lesson. Cops say De La Heron slammed into the Drakes at 130 miles an hour.
We were just flying up in the sky like we were on a roller coaster. Everybody was saying, we're gonna die, we're gonna die. A second later, a very second later, there's no one in the rear seat anymore.
We were the last two people in the vehicle, and I asked my husband to pray.
So I looked up to the sky and I said, lying on that freeway, I forgot even the name of God.
But God didn't forget the Drakes. Amazingly, everyone in the truck survived. Now, believe it or not, as Joe and his family were struggling for their lives, witnesses saw Jesus de la Heron get out of his mangled Corvette and calmly walk off the freeway. And if you think he was going to get some help, think again. As if nothing had happened, this creep went searching for more drinks. He showed up at a nightclub and stayed until last call. Then he walked to a nearby restaurant where he made this 911 call in an attempt to cover his tracks.
Yeah, hi. I was calling because someone stole my Corvette tonight around 11:30, and I was wondering if someone's going to come make a report and maybe give me a ride home or something.
What happened? I was in the club. Somebody pretty much pulled a gun on me and said, hey, you got to drive up your car, and that's it. So what have you been doing for the past 2.5 hours? Well, they said if I call the cops right away, they'll kill me, so I kind of hung around for a while. Got that right after they smashed my face in the brick wall down the street. What else could I do? All right, I'll send somebody to go speak with you. Okay.
Red Corvette?
When Officer Robert Martinez of the California Highway Patrol was sent to take his story down, he realized De La Heron matched the description of the man who'd left the Drakes to die.
Yeah, it's been crazy, man. I've been all night without a car. I don't even have a ride to get home. This is like a 2006 red Corvette, special edition. One you don't have to need a key to start it.
The guys who took your car, do you think you can give me a description?
Yeah, it's kind of dark, but those guys, they kind of look like me, you know? That's all I remember, though.
You said your car comes with keyless ignition, but you still need a key to send a signal to turn it on. Is that your car key?
So maybe I was wrong. I don't know, I can't remember, man. Maybe I didn't start the engine.
Officer Martinez played his hunch that De La Heron had been injured in the crash.
Do me a favor, lift up your shirt.
No, I'm okay. I mean, that's
I just want to make sure you don't have any injuries from the attack.
Great police work, because cops say he had injuries that would have been caused by a seatbelt during impact. De La Heron was taken into custody, but stunningly, a judge let this repeat DUI offender out on bail, possibly paving the way for him to drink and drive again.
This guy, I believe, is just evil. He's like the devil, he disappeared.
The Drakes may have survived the crash, but neither one of them made it out in one piece.
Nicole, you want to eat soup?
Joe lost his right leg. Patricia, her left arm.
Did you make a big picture, Nicole? Did you make a big picture?
Our main goal in our life was just to bring up our grandchildren and live a good, successful, happy life. And he took that all away from us.
I went to number 4.
Yeah.
Papa went to number 3.
It's very hard to live a normal life
Table.
when you're handicapped. It was a very, very ugly thing to happen to a mom and dad. Because it's very hard to live like this daily. Eat all your soup, okay?
I wanted to meet Patricia and Joseph in person so badly to tell you how proud I am of your courage, of how you've kept this family together and overcome these giant obstacles, probably for your children and grandchildren, haven't you?
Yes.
And you're still battling.
Well, it's been so much of a battle in our lives. It's been affected us spiritually, physically, financially, mentally. It destroyed our life totally.
The two of you have helped each other.
She's my better half. Without her, I couldn't go on. So me and Patricia became one flesh. She don't have an arm and I don't have a leg, but we suffered through it together. And by the grace of the Lord Jesus, we are here today.
You're a hell of a team, though. And I know that our viewers have caught people with less information than we have on Jesus, and I think they're going to end that run tonight. And God bless you for your strength and courage. Let me tell you, Joe and Patricia really are an amazing couple. They're the kind of special people I'll be showing you tonight. People I've met this year who I'll never forget. And I'll never rest until they get the justice they deserve. So here are the clues to catch that dirtbag De La Heron. De La Heron loves fast cars and hard liquor and may still be working in real estate, either in California or Las Vegas, where he likes hanging out. If you know where Jesus De La Heron may be hiding tonight, call us at 1-800-CRIME-TV.
So you think a guy who stays as busy as you be pulling in more money, huh?
You know me, man.
Thing is, I ain't gonna know you much longer.
Last winter, I went to New Jersey for a case involving two men who grew up on the same streets, but their lives took very different turns. Now, one is doggedly pursuing the other. This is Elizabeth, New Jersey, a tough town in the shadow of Manhattan. I'm on Reed Street, a spot where drugs are widely sold, mainly heroin and crack cocaine. Now, they've touched thousands of lives in Elizabeth, including one young man who grew up right here in this building. Lukman Abdullah was a talented high school track star and a very bright honor student until drugs took over his life. In 2003, authorities say Lukman Abdullah began establishing a drug empire here in Elizabeth. With foot soldiers pounding the pavement for him, authorities say Abdullah moved more than $1 million worth of crack a month. A member of the Bloods, cops say Abdullah had the product, the network, and the buyers.
He did most of his business face-to-face. They would discuss quantities, who was getting what, who needed to pay up, who owed certain money.
Knowing he needed to stay one step ahead of the cops, Abdullah constantly remained mobile, switching cars up to 5 times in a weekend to avoid being tailed.
Slow day, Willie?
Yeah, man. It's this economy. I I'm telling you, it's gonna pick up though, man. It always does.
Authorities say Abdullah ruled with an iron fist. And his base of operations was an apartment in Newark, New Jersey. Everyone who worked for Abdullah was accountable to him 24/7, 365.
I want you to check in on Willie. Make sure everything's accounted for.
He's disciplined in his personal life. He doesn't smoke. He's not a drinker. He certainly doesn't use drugs.
If you need me, you know where I'll be.
And where you could often find Abdullah was inside an upscale restaurant directly across the street from New Jersey's Union County Courthouse.
Lukman was highly educated. He was adaptable. He was able to hold conversations with people from very different backgrounds.
I have to go up in front of Judge Ramsey in the morning. I heard he always goes for the max on sentencing.
But I heard that several of his decisions have been brought up on appeal. Is that right?
A drug dealer who likes to rub shoulders with lawyers and judges. Let me tell you, this Abdullah's a real tough guy to get a handle on. But here's somebody who spent a lot of time trying, Detective Vito Colasity. Vito, you grew up here, went to the same high school as Abdullah.
Yeah.
And when did this guy get on your radar?
He was on police's radar since he was a kid dealing drugs in the corners.
But he was an honor student and a top athlete. Pretty interesting guy.
Yeah, he is. He's charismatic, he's adaptable, but he's also got a real violent streak.
How about that? On top of everything else, we had a violent streak. Now that's a real lethal combination.
Hey! Staying busy?
What do you mean, man? Working 24/7 for you.
Yeah, okay. So you think a guy who stays as busy as you be pulling in more money, huh?
You know me, man.
Thing is, I ain't gonna know you much longer.
Yo, come on. Yo, why you doing this, man?
Because I can, Willie.
When cops tracked down Willie, Abdullah's thugs allegedly had just put 4 bullets in him.
Who did this to you, Willie? This a work-related injury?
Yeah, man. You think I can apply for workman's comp?
What are you gonna tell us? That I'm robbed.
Fine. All right. You want it, you got it.
I'm listening.
After Willie told the cops it was Abdullah who ordered the hit, Abdullah was taken into custody. That's when Willie suddenly developed a unique side effect to his gunshot wounds: amnesia.
Look, man, I know I said it was him that did it, but I made a mistake.
So now you're telling us that you have no idea who threw you in the trunk and shot you.
As a result, Abdullah pled guilty to a mere aggravated assault charge and served just 6 days in jail. In doing so, Abdullah's reputation on the street grew.
That particular event really skyrocketed him to a position of power because people sincerely feared him after that. During this investigation, one of his co-conspirators called him Mr. Not Guilty, and I think in his mind he must feel like that.
Abdullah's ability to work the system didn't sit well with Vito. So in 2008, Vito helped launch Operation Red Zone. Its sole purpose? Take down Abdullah and his crew. For months, Abdullah had no idea he was under relentless surveillance. Here he is, caught in the crosshairs of hidden police cameras. But Vito knew he needed more. He needed to get inside Abdullah's stash house so he could get the drug evidence that would finally bust Abdullah.
Problem with Abdullah is he never stays in one place. He's meeting people in different restaurants and shopping malls, in places that we can't plant a bug. So, we got authorization to do a sneak and peek inside his stash house. 2nd floor, 2F. We get the evidence on tape. We'll get a judge to give us permission to put a wire in there. Masterson, you and I are gonna make the entry. 3 teams on surveillance. Don't say I never get you anything. If we leave any footprints, Abdullah will think they're his.
We tried to use the same footwear that they were commonly wearing, Timberland boots with the soles.
On April 22nd, 2009, Vito and his team sprung into action. On the street, cops kept watch as Vito and another detective made entry into Abdullah's stash house.
We got in there by pretty much picking a lock. We couldn't have been a detective. We had to maintain the stash location as it was, as to not alert these guys. The whole kitchen was used as a drug lab to process and bag narcotics. There was powder all over the floor.
And these are the actual surveillance images taken that night by Vito and his partner.
There was utensils for the processing of drugs, scales, and we found actual product. We also found an AK-47 assault rifle.
I'm on my way there.
What are we gonna do about that? We'll leave it for now. He can't know we were here.
Is that him? Someone just entered the building. His collar was up. I can't be certain if it was Abdullah or not.
Hey! I brought you a little something. Yeah? It's good to see you, man. You been good?
If Vito thought he and his partner had made a clean getaway, he'd soon find out otherwise.
Ray, you leave after me? Nah. See how I locked up? Somebody was in here.
Who break in and leave 16 bricks at H?
It'll take some rocket scientists to figure this one out.
Vito, we're here at the actual stash house in Newark, New Jersey that Abdullah kept his drugs in. And this is where your sneak and peek went down. How the heck did he ever know you guys were in there?
We knew he was careful, but, I mean, we got information that he knew exactly how the lock was turned. And that's what alerted him. He knew he left it a certain way, and it was different when he got back.
Meticulous guy.
Yeah.
But now it's game on, because he knows you're on to him and the whole investigation could go down the tubes.
Exactly. We had to step it up. We knew what we had inside there, and we couldn't let that leave. So surveillance was on him. We were on his tail, and we were waiting for the opportunity to take him down.
So you saddled up?
Yes.
Well, when we come back, you'll see the plan Vito put into place to take Abdullah down. But nobody could foresee how crazy things would turn out.
He's extremely lucky. He's very fast. He's a track star and a football player. So he kind of had the home field advantage.
One very determined cop, one very elusive fugitive. After a close call in Abdullah's stash house, Vito's undercover operation is left exposed. Now he's got to move fast. But he quickly gets a big break. The day after his team's sneak and peek, Abdullah is located in a restaurant in a mall in Edison, New Jersey.
Get him and whoever he's with as soon as he comes out. Am I clear? We cannot lose him. I'm on my way.
Yo, the beaches? I seen the beaches, son. I seen them, son. They're real good. Whoa, whoa.
He's extremely lucky. He's very fast. He's a track star and a football player. So he kind of had the home field advantage.
Abdullah would get away, he'd leave behind a key clue. And this is the cell phone that Abdullah dropped. On it, cops found a whole lot of new photos of Abdullah, including several with his shirt off that exposed his tattoos. Cops were completely unaware of Abdullah's ink until they saw these pictures. You can see that he's basically sleeved on both arms from his wrist to his shoulders. Now take a closer look at these pictures and all the clues on our website, amw.com. Then if you've got a tip, you can leave it online or call our hotline at 1-800-CRIME-TV. Now, when I met with Detective Cola City, he showed me one other fascinating clue that Abdullah left behind when he fled, his one-of-a-kind car. Tell us about what you found in this trunk.
Sure, John. Inside, we had all types of packaging material. Used to package drugs, Ziploc baggies. Again, these Timberland boots with the treads that me and Masterson used when we went to enter the stash house.
You love those Timberlands, huh?
Sure did. And also a set of fictitious plates. He came back not on file.
Bogus plates?
Yeah, something even bigger inside.
Let's check it out.
See that little vent lever?
Right here?
Yeah. If you push it in and to the right.
Okay, to the right.
And then back to the left.
Okay, to the left. Heard something.
Secret compartment.
Wow, right there. What's in that?
The trap was used to hold guns, drugs, cash, whatever he wanted to hide from the police.
Pretty ingenious guy.
Yeah, he is, but we have his car, we have his drugs, we have his guns, we have his cash. We just don't have him.
Let's give Detective Cola City the tip that he needs to take Abdullah down tonight.
I confronted him, and I called him by his first name, Robert.
Your real name is Robert Snyder, isn't it?
And he froze. Thereafter, he started to cry.
Cry like the little baby coward that he is.
He did.
You've heard me say that I'd go to the ends of the earth to track down anybody who hurts a child. And this past year, you proved once again that America's Most Wanted is the world's most wanted when we teamed up to take down a child molester. I traveled to Belize in Central America to get the details on how the story ended, a case that began years earlier in Colorado. As we showed you, Robert Snyder was a natural, a true chess master. And he cashed in on his gift, writing books, setting up a website, and giving private lessons. His pupils, mainly young boys. Snyder set up his business in Fort Collins, Colorado, where he transformed his home into a child's paradise. Games, movies, and lots of chessboards. But chess wasn't the only game Snyder was playing. For him, his students were the pawns. Finally, one young victim found the courage to tell his parents what had happened.
I said, well, he invited me up on his bed. He basically pulled my underwear down, and I said, we have a problem.
When the boy's father confronted Snyder and recorded the phone conversation, Snyder acted like he'd done nothing wrong.
So he did sleep in your room then?
Of course. I just told him as long as he's in a sleeping bag, and he kept on complaining it was really hot. I said, well, you can take your bottoms off.
The recording helped put an end to Snyder's disgusting game. At least that's what everyone thought. But Snyder only had to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts of unlawful sexual conduct and only had to spend 2 years in a county jail.
He was to register as a sex offender for life, every 90 days starting on his birthday. When he failed to show up for his registration, when he failed to meet with his probation officer, warrants were issued for his arrest.
Snyder disappeared, a predator on the run, and the Fort Collins police turned to America's Most Wanted to help hunt him down. We know that molesters like Snyder don't change. When we profiled Snyder last fall, we told you that with his money and resources, there was no way to know where he might be hiding.
Did you notice any scars or tattoos?
We got tips from all over the United States, but one lead in particular got investigators excited. A lead that didn't come from anywhere in the country. That great tip came from this house right here in Belize City. The family are regular viewers of America's Most Wanted every Saturday night, and I couldn't wait to meet them to find out what happened the night we profiled Robert Snyder. You got to be Sheena.
I am. Nice to meet you, John.
Really nice to meet you. And this is the beautiful Cree.
Nice to meet you.
Great job.
Come on in, John.
Love to. Sheena, tell me, you're a regular viewer on Saturday night. You're watching America's Most Wanted. What happened?
I saw the segments on Robert Snyder, and it didn't mean anything to me because I didn't know who he was until my daughter came downstairs.
I'm thinking, that looks just like the chess teacher at school. He was pretty creepy.
Did you believe her?
I sure did believe her. It was pretty significant that she actually said that he was a chess teacher, for the fact that she never saw that segment and knew that he had any affiliation with chess. That was the first alarm that went off. She further then told me that he gave her the creeps and that he had an interest in a boy in her class in doing private lessons. So all those were warning bells, and I thought I had to investigate further.
So you went to the website?
Did. I went on the website. We looked at his picture again, and I just got her to confirm. She's like, yep, that's him. And from there, I sent my tip into America's Most Wanted.
Both of you are very brave. I got to thank you for having the courage to put that tip online. It was a huge tip, and that's what alerted police to Robert Snyder's new life that he was trying to build here in Belize. His students here knew him as Augustine Rios, a new identity police learned he'd bought for himself in Mexico. Armed with a fake passport, a Mexican driver's license, and a voter registration card, he made his way to Belize and settled in, hiding in plain sight, hoping to earn a living the only way he knew how, with chess.
He came to my school saying he's a chess instructor, you know, giving me his particulars, his resume, and I needed a chess teacher around that time, so I said, oh, great, I'll consider it.
Hey, believe, to forget you can cancel.
A background check on Augustine Rios came up clean, so he got the job.
Very, very good.
He was slightly eccentric. He was a bit awkward, but he really knew how to teach chess well.
He married a local woman and lived here in this modest house just north of Belize City. The awful truth about his sordid past hidden away.
There was no way we could have known that this man was a fugitive. I was very clear that he was intelligent. He wasn't a low-life criminal, you know, who would, you know, he knew what he was doing, and he was, you know, he was very smart.
But not smart enough to know that America's Most Wanted is broadcast in Belize. When Sheena and Cree's tip came in, it didn't take Fort Collins police long to learn it was for real.
We decided to Google Belize chess. So we started going through the blogs, and we come across a picture of Mr. Snyder teaching at this chess camp in Belize in March of 2009. It was pretty clear he had changed his appearance. He wasn't wearing glasses. He had grown his hair back out, but it looked in the picture like he had dyed his hair black.
Now it was time to bring the police in Belize into the game, and they were more than willing to help sweep this trash out of their country. Belize police followed Snyder's every move for days, and then they made their move. And it all went down right here at the police station headquarters here in Belize City. Snyder had no clue what was about to happen. He walked right through those doors. This is Assistant Police Commissioner Miguel Segura. Miguel, I've heard a lot about you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, John Walsh.
How did you lure Snyder to police headquarters?
Snyder was applying for a nationality status here in Belize. So after the interview, I had met him here at the front of these steps, and I invited him back upstairs.
So he came out. He thought he was cool.
Right.
And you confronted him.
That's right.
Back inside. What did you say to him?
Well, actually, he was going under that name of Agustin Rios. So having all that planning, I engaged him in that conversation.
Tell me a little bit about your parents, Mr. Rios. Where are they from?
Mexico.
who is his father, who is his mother, where did he grow up, and not less than 3 minutes, I confronted him, and I called him by his first name, Robert.
Your real name is Robert Snyder, isn't it?
And he froze. Thereafter, he started to cry. And then he took out the documents, handed it over to me, said that he doesn't need it anymore.
Cry like the little baby coward that he is.
He did.
The takedown was as smooth as they come. Snyder was tossed into a cell in Belize's national prison. Within days, he was headed to the airport and put on a plane. And a few hours later, he was back in the United States to face justice.
Snyder, did you know you were on America's Most Wanted?
No comment.
What do you think of the fact that you were apprehended due to a tip to America's Most Wanted?
This was a sight that so many people back in Fort Collins had long waited to see. His victims were no longer afraid of what he might do next, and no longer afraid to show their faces.
It gives you a sense of closure. We're back to being whole and healed and complete again. And we went from being victims to having victory in this.
Now that was one fantastic capture, and I'm so glad that Snyder will be behind bars for a very long time. And while Snyder's victims have finally gotten justice, this May in Chicago, I met with a group of remarkable and strong parents still seeking justice for their children. It's a day that'll stay with me forever, and I'll share that day with you when we come back.
Yeah, I just want to know who killed my son.
It's got to be a dream. You know, this doesn't happen to us.
I made a promise to my son at the morgue when I had to identify him that I would never give up.
He's a happy boy.
On a summer evening on a busy Chicago street, 14-year-old Anthony Padron was gunned down riding his bike.
Why'd they kill my son? Nobody had the reason to kill somebody.
Adding to the family's pain, a code of silence has protected the killer for 5 years.
Nobody talk. And we need to talk. We need to say what we see. Stop the violence. Stop the silence. The silence kills.
Tell me about it.
The group is called Purpose Over Pain. Some families came together at some marches and at some rallies. We're all in the same boat. Unfortunately, we lost our children to gun violence.
Purpose Over Pain, what a great name. Well, I'd like to meet some of these parents. Will you introduce me?
Sure.
Terrell Bosley, he was 18 years old. He was coming outside the church on 116th and Halsted, and someone came out shooting and shot my son.
It's supposed to save people's lives, and we see this every day. We did all the right things with Blair. You know, we took him to school, we picked him up. This day, he told me, Ma, don't pick me up. I'll take the bus, you know?
But you got to remember one thing. He died a hero.
Yeah,
you were raising a hero. He died a hero. He was the boy you wanted him to be, and probably would have been the man that you are. You were blessed to have him. He made your life worth living.
Oh, yes, he
did.
And
the unbearable pain. 2 good guys, 2 friends, senselessly, brutally murdered.
Mm-hmm. They were at home.
At the right place.
They were right
where they were
at the
supposed
right
to be
time.
safe.
Yes.
I mean, who thinks you're going to get killed at your grandmother's house?
Parents who continue to grieve. Killers who continue to remain free because of one pervasive code of silence.
It's been 17 years for my daughter. I'm a cancer survivor, so I started thinking about my mortality. I don't want to die and not know who killed my daughter.
God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you, Mom.
I just want to know who killed my son.
Not a clue, not a suspect. No one has said anything.
What I'm asking is that this code of silence ends. And whether it's my case or any other cases out here, that somebody does the right thing and tell. That is the right thing.
But the story that Tanya Birch told me really drove home how tough it can be to get people to do the right thing.
He was 19.
On a hot summer night last August, her son, Deontay, was at a block party with over 100 other people. When a fight broke out, someone pulled out a gun and started shooting. Deontay was struck in the back and died. Detectives know someone should have seen who fired the fatal shot, but no one has come forward. So Tanya has made it her mission to find her son's killer.
How you doing, sir? My son was the one that was killed around the corner right here at the block. So we have a $6,000 reward offer for any conviction of it. So you know who gave the party?
Yeah.
You do? But would you call me? You can call either one of these numbers on here. Excuse me, baby.
While some people are still afraid to talk, others see Tanya as a hero.
What's your name?
Tanya.
Let me give you a hug.
Thank you.
Yeah, I seen it. I was happened to be here that day. My heart really bleeds for you, and it goes out. I am so serious.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Tanya. I'm gonna see you later, baby.
All right. Here I go again.
Every day she comes out here, Tanya hopes to gain one more piece of information from that night. On this day, she ran into a woman who was with Deontay as he bled to death on the sidewalk.
Police came up. It got kind of quiet. He looked nervous and scared, and my mom, she was just had his hand, rubbing his hand. And I was rubbing his leg, pleading the blood of Jesus. And after she prayed for him, he died. So I know he at peace. And it really touched my heart, you know, because I never seen nobody die like that. I just want you to be strong, because that really touched us. Like, I be crying for real. Well, thanks anyway. I just want you to stay strong.
I'm trying.
Stay strong.
I'm trying.
Tanya, there were over 100 people there that night. I absolutely know somebody knows who shot your son, and they have got to have the courage to come forward. We're going to try to get you justice.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you.
And I want to say that to all these parents here. Thank God for purpose over pain. There should be an organization like that in every city. And you saw how much pain there is here tonight. Too much pain. This is unacceptable. And it's not about the code of silence and this stupid stop snitching. I call it the code of cowardice. You could be the next victim. Your daughter, your sister, your husband, your boyfriend. You have to have the courage to say, enough is enough. I think I know who did that, and they need to pay. So I'm giving you the chance to. AMW.com. You can go to our website. We don't care what your name is. Call our hotline, 1-800-CRIME-TV. Please, I know one person can make a difference. These people need to have their cases ended. They need justice. Accused hit-and-run driver Jesus De La Heron. Accused drug lord Lukman Abdullah. Accused killer Brandon Scott Williams. And cops in Chicago need any information about the murder of Deontay Williams on August 1st, 2009. Now, next Saturday is the 9th anniversary of 9/11. I'm heading back to New York City, where I saw the devastation at Ground Zero firsthand. I'm going to give you some new information about one of the most wanted terrorists in the world. He's not only directly connected to those horrific attacks, but now he's accused of plotting to blow up New York subways. And we'll go after one of the most violent men in New York, who's been terrorizing that city for nearly 30 years. So please join me next week for our season premiere. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, and remember, you can make a difference.